What did he tell you? What did he tell you? All my teammates, nothing, man. No big deal. Was he mad? No, he's not mad. It's all good.
Dude,
I left it at that.
You being Mark McGuire?
Mark McGuire.
That's epic. Such a cool one, too. All right, and welcome back to The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody, a.k.a. Creston Woods, and with me today we have a new friend. We have Mike Fetters, former baseball player and coach of baseball players today. And so I know a few guys that have worked with him, and it's a funny story how I didn't realize I was talking to this guy for 30 minutes before. I've known about him for years. So welcome to the podcast, Mike.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on.
It was interesting the day that we met. That was crazy.
Yeah, we're just sitting at the front desk and we're talking and, we're talking. He's a pitcher. I'm a catcher. So we're, immediately connecting like that. We're talking baseball. And I'm telling him where I played, and he's like, "Oh, actually, I had a couple guys that went out to that same school."
Right. And
then it just happened to be my roommates for like 3 or 4 years. I lived in the same house as all three of them that worked with you. Right. And so I think that is just so funny. I was going to see him the next day.
How bizarre was that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking, and I asked about the area in here, the recovery. I asked you how long you worked here. And he said, I've been here cleaning this place since you were in high school. Then he said, you went off to college. I'm like, where'd you go to college? Mm-hmm. Oh, I went to college in Hawaii. Well, I'm from the islands. And he goes, what school? He goes, HP. And I looked at him. I'm like, play baseball? Yeah. He goes, oh, man, I work with some baseball players that went to HPU. Conlin, Meyer, Evan Spitzer, Billy Clemens, a few others. It was like, oh my gosh, you've heard of me all those years because them guys, I'm sure.
They say your name all the time. Yeah. They're like, Fetters this, Fetters that. Like, right. Yeah. And then all of a sudden now I have a face to the name.
Right. And after all these years, right? That's crazy. Now, in the gym, I've never joined a gym. The first time I've joined
First time you've ever joined a gym?
I worked out at the stadiums my whole life.
Yeah, right? you don't have to when you're playing.
So I'm in here and then I run into this guy.
Right? Small world.
Yeah, small world.
And so take us through like your career. Like, how did it all start? Like, I mean, like, I don't know too much. I didn't do like a ton of background because I love having like the genuine like feel. Like, tell me what your career was like. Like, what was it? What was baseball for you?
I'll tell you from start to finish.
Yeah, knock it out.
Growing up as a kid, I played sports, all sports. I didn't know, you play them all, and you dabble in them all, and you try to figure out which one you're best at. Well, my whole life growing up, I thought I was a basketball player.
I mean, you're pretty tall and like you got the size for it. Like basketball's.
Right. So that was my first passion. My love was basketball. I played baseball. I had fun. I was good at it. Played football too. Wasn't as good at it. I was super skinny growing up. I didn't get to my man strength till I was a sophomore.
So you're pretty big now. I mean, we took your scan the other day. He's huge.
Yeah, I graduated from high school 6'3", 165 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
lanky.
I went to this thing can go drag on. I went to a public school my freshman year. Played varsity basketball, and I went out for baseball. But our basketball season ran into baseball in the islands. So, and I have a brother that's 2 years older than me. He was on both basketball, baseball, football. So he's already out there at practice. And I go to try out, which I thought I was trying out. And the coach says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm here to try out for baseball. I'm a freshman." He goes, "I didn't know you played. Our rosters already turned in. You can't play." I grab my bag and I'm walking off, and I tell my dad, "Hey," he said, "I can't play because the rosters are turned in." So he goes, "Well, while you're here," he walks over to my dad and apologizes. And I didn't know that Mike played. My brother's right there. He goes, "I told you, coach, that my brother plays."
Yeah.
But it kind of didn't dawn on him. So he asked me if I'd throw to a couple batters, live BP. Faced 3 batters, struck all 3 of them out, and I went home. Didn't get to play my freshman year. Then in the summer league for basketball, I have a cousin that was the head coach at a private school. And we're playing them. We're done playing, and he sees my mom. They hadn't seen each other in years. And, "Hey, Auntie, what are you doing here?" He says, "My 2 boys are playing." "On that high school?" "Yeah, which one are your boys?" And she pointed and goes, "I need that one right there to come take the test to come to the private school," pointing at me. So like, oh yeah, I'd love to go to that school. So I took the test, and I ended up at a private school the following year.
Oh yeah,
but
nice.
I had to sit out because I had the transfer rules back then. So my first 2 years, I didn't do a whole lot. I played basketball 1 year. I practiced all the time, but never got to play. Then junior year, I played. I was all state, everything. I was state player of the year in hoops.
Nice.
All state in baseball. And I'm still trying to make a decision where to go to school, what to do, what sport I'm going to play. And I get drafted by the LA Dodgers in the 22nd round.
Oh my gosh.
I only pitched like 11 games in my high school career. That's it.
And what, some scout just saw your potential,
Scouts
and they were like,
we were in the state tournament where I was lucky for me. I was on really good teams, and we played a lot of games and played some pretty good crowds. So I get drafted. I'm thinking to myself, "There's no NFL or NBA scouts knocking on my door. Let me try this MLB thing." So out of nowhere, that same draft, the guy was supposed to attend Pepperdine University. Was a first round pick by the Pirates. Can't remember his name. I remember it, but don't know how to say it, so I'm not going to say it. Right?
yeah,
But they thought that Pepperdine didn't think he was going to get drafted that high. They were expecting him to come. Well, he didn't go. So one of our rival coaches in high school said, "Hey, man, there's a kid here that hasn't signed anywhere yet at Pepperdine University." He goes, "We'll take him." He got drafted 22nd round. Says, "We'll take him sight unseen." I got a scholarship at Pepperdine University, sight unseen, as a baseball player.
wow.
Yes.
Out of playing 11 games.
11 games.
That's insane, actually.
So-
That's such a small
Right.
like window to get seen.
For sure. So then I go there. 3 years later, I'm the 27th pick in the country. Took me 3 years to just focus on one sport, and that's when my professional career started.
Amazing.
The Angels drafted me with the 27th pick.
So when you were going to Pepperdine before, how hard were you throwing? Like, what was your stuff like? Like, what kind of pitcher are you? You know,
That's
like,
funny.
because I need to know, because how do they see your draftability, right? Like, I want to know what that comes from.
Right. So I'm like everybody else, right? Well, being in the professional world that I was for my whole life, you project guys out. I was 6'3", I was long, lanky.
Yeah.
You knew at some point I was going to grow.
So they're like, oh, you can put mass on this guy, but he
Right.
already throws this hard.
Correct. Well, at that time, back in those days, I was maybe throwing 85 miles an hour, but back then that was hard. We can get into that too, the calibration of the guns today and back in the day. But I was throwing about 85, maybe topping out 86. Then I go to college, and my freshman year, it was 84 when the first year of the Olympics for baseball, 1984 Olympics in LA.
Yeah.
So they had tryouts all over the country, and one of the tryouts was at Pepperdine. So all the kids from Southern California, all the big studs and I didn't know nothing about college baseball. So they're all there for this tryout, and I try out. I'm throwing 88 miles an hour now out of nowhere. Add 3 miles an hour to my velocity. Randy Johnson, they took a guy out of every tryout. They took Randy Johnson out of that one. And Randy couldn't throw strikes, but he was throwing 100 already at that young
He's
age.
Randy Johnson. He's the big unit.
Right.
You know?
So, but when the tryout was done, Rod Dato, who was the coach at USC, who was the USA coach, said, "Hey, man, we're going to watch you during the season. Nice job." He goes, "I don't know how you got away, because I usually get the best kid out of Hawaii every year."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, if you would have wanted me, I probably would have went there. 'Cause that was my dream school, but they didn't want me, so didn't go there." But flipping back to high school, I was like every other high school kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I was throwing 85 miles an hour, which was pretty firm at that time.
It's firm in Hawaii.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, at sea level,
my
too.
game would look like this. I'd walk 10 and strike out 15.
Hey.
That's kind of how it worked. I was wild. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to copy people on TV, whatever.
So your potential was super high.
Yeah, and I was athletic, and they saw that too. Then when I got to Pepperdine, I just focused on the one, and I didn't know how to throw a breaking ball or nothing. I was a one-pitch pitcher.
Wow.
And then I got to Pepperdine, and coach showed me a curveball grip, and I
Rest is
did
history.
awesome. Yeah, and I had a really, really good freshman year. I was a freshman All-American. I was on the USA national team that year. And then my sophomore year wasn't as good as my freshman, was still good. Junior year was good, and then I was the 27th pick. To back up though, when I went to Pepperdine, I didn't have a clue. When I got there, we had another kid was recruited at Pepperdine. His name was Gary Kukawa. He was a shortstop center fielder. This guy was jacked. Out of high school, this guy was a specimen. So, we're from the island, so when we get off this airplane, we both got like 3 suitcases. And the assistant coach picked us up in a Trans Am.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we're fitting 6 suitcases and the 3 of us in this Trans Am.
No.
And we got to drive from LAX to Pepperdine, right in Malibu, which is an hour drive. So I'm getting Gary's like 5'9", 5'10", but jacked, and I'm 6'3", 6'4", and I'm going, "Man, Gary, you get in the back seat. There's like a little spot." So
yeah,
he's like, "Okay," and the coach is like, No, Gary, you get in the front. Mike, you get in the back. And Coach, man, I'm gonna have my knees in my neck all the way. He goes, "No, I need to talk to Gary." Like as soon as he saw Gary, he's like, "Oh my gosh," right?
Right.
Like, all right. So I'm sitting in the back of this car, all the way, I'm stiff, and we get there, and our dorms aren't done.
Oh.
So they take us to the beach. We're from the islands. The beach did not matter to us.
Yeah,
right?
like I've been on the beach my whole life. I lived in paradise.
So then we go to lunch. The head coach takes us to lunch, and he's telling Gary what they're going to do, what their plans are. And I'm sitting there like I wasn't even at this lunch. And so the check comes, and Again, this is just how cocky I was back in the day. They bring the tab, and I put my hand on the tab. I said, before we leave this lunch, what's your plans for me? Am I getting an opportunity? I chose to come here. You choose me, sight unseen. All I'm asking is, am I going to get an opportunity? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're looking you down the line. We got a bunch of guys back, but like down the line, like in 2 years or down the line, like sometime this fall. He goes, no, we're going to let you pitch in the fall to see what you got, and we'll evaluate from there. So you're going to give me an opportunity. Because if you don't want to give me a chance, I'll go home. I'll go back home, No, you're going to get a chance. I'm like, okay, that's all I ask. I gave them the check, and they paid it.
Hey.
Then the fall came, and I pitched really, really well. And all our guys started to drop like flies. They were all getting hurt. Opening day comes. Who's going to start? And we played USC opening day. Mark McGuire, Randy Johnson. I'm like, okay, so they're like, who's going to start? And they didn't know because our starting center field is one of our pitchers. No, he's got to start in center field. The three big studs were all hurt. And they asked the pitching coach, who do you think should start? He goes, give it to the kid from the island. They're like, what? The kid from the island goes, really? He goes, did you not watch the fall? He absolutely dominated. He said, this is what he told me. He opened up his briefcase and threw the stats from the fall on the table. Like, are you sure? He goes, yep, give him the ball. I pitched 7 innings of one-hit baseball against USC as a freshman. And the rest is history from there.
Yeah.
My college career took off.
That was it. That was the catalyst, right? And then it just
after
sends
that
you
first year, I started
momentum.
throwing 90. I had a curveball now to go with it, so it was easy. I had a go-to and a counter.
And when you're feeling good, it's easier to develop too, right? You're easier to work out, because you're just like, I'm getting confident, I'm getting into it.
And those kind of players. And another great story was my first fall game, first collegiate game. We're playing the Cincinnati Reds scout team. All a bunch of high school kids. So I thought, So I go out there late in the game, and because it's a high school thing, then they're going to let me pitch because I'm the incoming freshman. All their studs already pitched early, right? So I get in the game, and I strike out the first batter on 3 pitches. So they throw the ball around. The third baseman's name is Brad Byerly. He was an All-American there. Puts a ball in my glove. He goes, hey, man, he just struck out? I said, no. He goes, that's Chris Brown. He was the starting third baseman for the San Francisco Giants.
Oh.
Back in the days, some of the big league guys would work out with those scout teams, the guys that lived in L.A. So they'd get at bats in the fall.
Yeah, so they could see some live pitching. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't know. Strike out the next guy on 3 pitches. They throw on the button. I look at the guy. I'm like, oh, my God, that's Darryl Strawberry.
Oh, my gosh. You're striking out Hall of Famers.
Chris Brown, Darryl Strawberry. Okay, who's next? I look who's coming up next, and it was Eric Davis. Oh. I struck all 3 of them out on 3 pitches. I had immaculate inning. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts.
Well, I mean,
I walked out the mound, and I'm the man. That was it. Like,
this is the best.
But that was my introduction to college. And I'm like, this is it. I'm facing big leaguers. I'm doing all right. So the USC game wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, you're already kind of used to facing the big guys.
And after the USC game, my first college game, I didn't know college players. Mark McGuire walked into our clubhouse. I was like, oh, man, because I hit him. I drilled him during the game, not on purpose. And he walked and caught that, oh, man, this guy wants to fight me. I'm looking at this big giant, right? I go, oh, no. He came and he just showed me, hey, man, that's a nice job today, man. You're a freshman. He goes, man, you don't get hurt, man. You're going to be something special. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. He walked. He goes, what did he tell you? What did he tell you? On my team, I said, nothing, man. No big deal. Was he mad? I'm like, no, he's not mad. It's all good.
Dude.
I left it at that.
You beat Mark McGuire?
Mark McGuire.
That's epic. Such a cool one, too. Yeah.
And he was a third baseman back then.
Yeah.
No, big first baseman. He was a third baseman in college.
Epic. Yeah. And so, moving on, then you make it to the bigs, right? Now you have a career.
Yeah. That was didn't know, it's you get to the big leagues and you're kind of starstruck because the guys that you grew up idolizing,
watching, now you're
facing. Now you're on your team, and you're not sure if you belong.
Imposter syndrome immediately,
right? And you're a first round pick, so all the pressure. Like I understand, like Archie Bradley, guys like that had all that pressure in there because I felt it. I'm a first round pick. I got to prove to them that they made the right pick, and so you're putting that unnecessary pressure on yourself, and you go out there and. I was just not even a shell of myself because I wasn't free to be me. So I was trying to make everyone happy.
Baseball wasn't fun anymore.
Oh my gosh, it was a job.
It was 100%
a job. They traded me after the 91 season, the off season, and I'm like, okay. And I got a family now already. I got married when I was 21 years old. My wife was 20, my high school sweetheart. We got married. So she went through the whole process with me. I'm thinking, I got to make it or I'm going to get a job.
You got to take care of your family.
So I got traded thinking, this is it. This is my shot. Either I'm going to do it my way, and I'm not listening to anybody. I'm going to do it my way, or I might as well be done. So I get to the Brewers. I'm going to do it my way, and pitched great. My first year there that was me. And then from that point on, I knew I belonged. I knew that This is what I was meant to do. Confidence was off the charts. Even after bad games, it didn't matter. And I had some really good teammates too along the way that helped through the times you got rough. But man, once you're there and you know you're there, it's hard to knock you off that pedestal until you get knocked off. And I wasn't a superstar. I was a serviceable major leaguer. I could pitch in the back end of a bullpen, in the middle, and I closed for a few years by default. I mean, I was smart enough to know that we don't have a closer. I'm the best.
I'll
option.
pitch where I can pitch.
Right, but I knew my best spot was a setup man. So if you look at the game, most guys that were closers, when they start to falter, they never pitch again in the big leagues. They don't know how to pitch anymore. I was smart enough to know that, no, I'm a setup guy. I'll do this closing thing until someone else comes and does it, but I know I can fall back on the setup. Yeah. That's why I pitched for 16 years in the major leagues. Teams knew that I could handle, if they needed me for a ninth inning guy, great, but they know I can keep the game where it's at seventh and eighth inning. So that's the reason why I lasted. I was no superstar, but to last that, only superstars play as long as I did.
It's a game of attrition. How do you find your way to survive it, right?
That's exactly right. So, and again, I was smart enough also to know that every 3 or 4 years you had to change something. Maybe part of your delivery, maybe you add or subtract.
Your scouting report comes out year after year after year,
Correct.
right? So then if you throw up the same stuff, like again, people figure you out.
I know one spring training after I established myself, we're at the Cubs stadium, and Mark Grace is with the Cubs at the time. And I told our manager was Phil Garner. I say, Phil, I don't care about the outcome of the game. I'm on the team, right? Already multi-year contract. So I said, I'm going to lead every hitter off back-to-back cutters. I'm learning a cutter this year. I'm going to throw a cutter. I'm going to add it to my arsenal. He said, yeah, no big deal. I said, no, don't panic. I mean, come and get me after too many pitches if I start to struggle. But I'm throwing everybody back-to-back cutters. So I get the first 2 guys out, pretty easily. Then Mark Grace comes up, and I throw a cutter, and he swings out of his rear end. He looks at me, and he looks at the catcher. Mind you, during these spring training games, there's 100 scouts sitting up there. Their advanced scouts are all taking all their notes.
All
right?
metrics, all things, yeah.
So I throw him a cutter. And he's looking at me, and he goes, what the hell was that? Right? So I throw him another one, back to back.
Yeah.
Again, he swings and misses, and he yells at me from home plate, when did you effing start throwing a cutter? Every scout back there writes in their book, Fetters is throwing a cutter
now.
You know how many cutters I threw that year? None.
0, because the scouting report.
Every day in the warm, so everyone's report had me Fetts at a cutter.
Smart. So you're playing the game, scouting report game.
Stuff like that guys don't think about, that it worked.
Yeah, because it's such a game of baseball is the biggest metrics game. Everyone's looking at all of the data. I mean, we talked about it before the podcast. Sometimes it's almost too much nowadays where everything's data. And it's there's also the human being behind it who has a life in the background and, eats something wrong and has a bad day, or maybe his curveball, his elbow's hurting and now he doesn't need to throw that pitch out today. And the metrics don't tell you that.
100%. That's there's a place for it. The metrics
it helps a lot to guide us.
It gives you amazing. A baseline. It gives you a great baseline of where you're at, but that's not how you play the game. The human being plays the game. And like you just said, there's days when you go into the weight room, and there's days where I can bench 500 pounds. There's days where I can't bench
135.
One weight. Yeah. So you get on the field man, I feel I can throw 100 tonight. And there's days man, I don't know how I'm going to get through this game. I can barely get it to the plate.
Wake up, buddy.
But the metrics don't take that into account, just like they don't take situations into an account. They from a pitcher's perspective, they take all these numbers of the batter you're going to face. I'm going to face Bobby Bonilla tonight. They take his 10,000 at-bats against a right-handed pitcher, and this is what his metrics come out to. Well, it doesn't say, it's the 9th inning with bases loaded and 2 outs. What is he doing with that pitch?
Is he good with clutch situations?
Correct.
Is that even a metric you can study?
It's not even on there. So then you throw it in the trash because it can't help you at that moment. And I tell all starting pitchers, you pitch to what you do best. You got to do what you do best. And there might be 1 or 2 times in a game where you're not sure. Then you go look at the metrics. The scouting report's there. What? Okay,
I feel like I'm doing everything right now. I'm okay. Maybe I'm not getting enough spin rate. Okay,
right.
Something. I don't know.
Right. So, but even you're not looking at that stuff, and it's funny because I tell everyone to this day, there's all these facilities and labs.
Oh yeah.
Guys are all in there looking at the TrackMan and Rapsodos. None of the people watch this may not know that aren't baseball fans, but they're the devices that measure the metrics.
Yeah.
Spin rates, launch angle for hitters, pitch shapes, how many inches of vertical, horizontal movement they have. So all these places are measuring it. And these guys go in there and like, wow, look how much spin he's got. Wow, look how much that ball moved. And wow, all those things. The pitch shape is amazing. You don't get paid for that.
Nope.
You get paid for
numbers,
getting the guy out in the
wins,
game.
W's.
So you can have the greatest data and be the worst pitcher in America. Or you can have the most terrible data, but I know how to get people out.
I know how to win championships.
So
Done.
That's how it works. So when it all started to come about with the analytics, it was supposed to be meshed. Baseball with analytics. And they're
Moneyball
supposed to be able to work together. Yeah, Billy Beane and his crew. I played for the A's at that time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that whole thing, but they talk about that and they make the movie about it. But the reason why the Oakland A's were really good because they had 3 of the best starting pitchers in baseball in that staff.
Duh.
They don't talk about that,
Yeah.
right? But Giambi and those guys doing their thing was it, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. The
That's
pitching
not the
was
full
amazing.
story, yeah.
But for me, it's they're supposed to mesh it. But if you look at baseball today, it's all analytics, and there's no baseball people left. The coaches they hire now are not.
Oh yeah, they're
big league
actually
guys.
like guys that just study the game. They weren't like you who played in the league
Right.
and then are coaching.
And I'm not saying that they're bad coaches, that they know what they're doing. But
no, it's different.
How do you talk to a player, and how are you as a player going to respect him? Like, I'll give you an example. I played for the Pirates, and Spin Williams was the pitching coach, and he never got out of Double-A, but at least he played, right? And I was bases loaded, and I got Barry Bonds to pop up to end the inning. And I walk off the field. Everyone's excited. We got out of it. Barry Bonds now the greatest player on the planet ever. If you ask me, that's the greatest player ever. Played this game.
Well, I mean, statistically, it makes
Ever.
sense. Like you can back it. Like
Right.
there's a case to be made for
Right,
this.
and I'll get back to him in a second. But
Yeah.
I get off and I sit down, and Spin Williams, the pitching coach, walks up to me and goes, "Hey, man, why did you throw him a split?" And I was like, whoa. I said, Spin, no disrespect, but I'm going to disrespect you right now. If you have something to tell me about mechanics, by all means, that's your job. But you're going to try to tell me how to get Barry Bonds out with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and you've never been on a big league mound facing Barry Bonds? Don't second guess me, especially when I got him out. Now, you want to talk about if he got a hit? Different story.
Yeah, right.
I got him out. I don't care what I did. And
People
I got
walked him a
right?
third of the season one year.
Right.
Like that guy is
that's-
insane.
But that's my point is you got guys that have never done it. So how can you respect the person trying to tell you how to do your job when they've never done it?
Yeah, no,
You know?
and I think that speaks to how like the male brain works a lot of times is like masculine people don't come to me because I am a trainer, but it's because I'm fit and I do the work and it shows, right? Where
You're proof of
like
the pudding.
proof of concept,
Yeah.
right? Well, like when you talk to a pitcher, yeah, I can't tell a pitcher mindset work myself because I'm a catcher that
Right.
played D2 baseball and he's not going to respect that. So even if it was the right advice, he's not listening for that advice.
Right, but the guys that are brought up in the game the right way understand that the pitcher-catcher relationship is the most important relationship on the field.
Yes, sir. The
right?
battery.
The most ideal situation where the pitcher's not shaking off all day. It's you guys are on the same page. Like, yeah, we're on the same page. Save wavelength. We're going to dominate today because we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. You know what's working. I know what's working. That's the best case scenario of any game.
And we adapt to it and we just let it
100%.
ride.
So let me get back to Barry.
Yeah, Barry.
Right? So Barry Bonds, I'm going to tell you why he's the greatest ever to play the game. Barry Bonds gets 4 plate appearances. Plate appearances, not at bats. They walk him 3 times. He gets 1 time to swing the bat. And
One
he
time.
did not miss. Didn't miss. He put it in the ocean in San Francisco. He hit it off the wall. Who does that? Only
Dude.
he could. Those guys, there's no way. This guy was incredible. And his strikes, I'm a pitcher, so I'm going to
Yeah.
His strike zone was about that big. Let's don't get it twisted. But he didn't miss anything that was in the strike zone that was a miss, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing what that guy did with the bat. And if you listen to him talk, I mean, he's done a lot of podcasts. He's done a lot of interviews. And it's interesting, and I wish more kids would look at that instead of looking at the analytics and the data. His approach was, someone throws 102 miles an hour, someone's got to catch it. You have to catch 102, right?
Yeah.
Did you catch it? 100%. He changed the object. He took the glove, eliminated. I use my bat. This is what's going to catch the ball at 102, 103, 105.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch it with the barrel, and I'm going to finish. That was his approach to hitting.
That's how he thinks.
I'm going to catch with
See ball, hit ball.
it wasn't even that. I'm going to
no,
catch
it's
it. I'm going to
even
catch it
easier.
and finish
Yeah.
it. That's all he did.
Isn't that crazy?
That's why he was never off balance. He was never fooled.
But yeah, you're like, how do you teach it? How do you teach a player that mindset?
I would scream when I threw a pitch. Swing!
Swing.
Then it became where you faced him was like, let me see how far he can hit it. Hit it into Oakland. Let's see if we can get it to across the bay.
Oh yeah.
That's the best chance you had.
And it's kind of sad that people also discount like all that you can learn from Barry Bonds because of the steroids and like the era, and like people are like discounting it. But dude, he's the best ever to do it. Like, and so like he's doing something right regardless. That whole era was taking steroids. There's lots of people that take steroids. Like this is like, that's not to say one thing. He still was the best, and he can learn a ton.
100%. He didn't need it.
He didn't even need it.
I mean, it's not like he did it.
He was good
career.
before.
He was an MVP before.
Yeah, he was. But
it got to be like we're talking about it right now, right? The debate: who's the greatest of all time? It would be the debate, right? To be undebatable, he had to break the home run record. He had to. There's no dispute. Did he do it? Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So what is there to argue? He took steroids. There's no other dispute other than that.
Only dispute they can knock him on.
Because if he didn't do steroids, he wouldn't have done it. How do you know? He was already a stud without it. He was a stud without it. And like I said, I mean, it's sad. It's sad that he did it. Sad that all that happened. But I don't care what anyone says. He's the greatest baseball player I ever faced, ever witnessed with my own eyes, ever. Shohei Ohtani is pretty impressive right now, but it's still not Barry Bonds yet.
Yet. I was going to say, because Shohei's a specimen, and he's also throwing 100 on the other end and doing it.
He's a freak.
Like, now you have to think of like best baseball player ever versus best pitcher ever, right? Or best hitter ever. Because he could, like, Shohei could put up Barry Bond numbers, and he's got his pitching numbers on top of that. Right. How do you quantify that against it?
Can't do it.
You can't.
Can't do it.
Shohei's a one of one.
Yes. I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to go on a limb and say this, and it wouldn't be Shohei, but I wouldn't put it past Barry that if he were a pitcher, he'd be pretty good, too.
I bet he would too. Yeah, no, it's
because he was he had a good arm. He had a good arm. Yeah, left-handed too. Whew.
So how many years were you in the league? Like, how did that all turn out?
I played 16 years.
Dude, that's a long season. Like a long career, dude. That's amazing.
I'm proud of that part of it. The fact that the longevity that I had. That means I took care of myself.
What's the average? Like 3 years?
3.5 years.
Yeah, 3.5. Okay, yeah.
So the longevity of what I had. Let people know that I took care of myself. I did all the right things. I made the adjustments that were supposed to be made. I used my brain. I used my physical abilities. And I got everything out of myself. No one can take that away from me. My numbers, what I put in the league is what I put in. What I'm also proud of is I coached and was in the front office for another 16 years. I've got 32 years of Major League service time.
Amazing,
is ridiculous,
dude.
Right?
Yeah. You know the game's so intimate.
Yeah, and I've had many jobs, broadcasting a little bit, in the front office, a special assistant to the gym for a little bit, coaching different types of bullpen coach, quality control coach, and the playing part of it. It was quite the ride. It was fun. I wouldn't change anything. Like, I wish I had a World Series under my belt, which I don't, but I wouldn't change the ride that I had. No chance. I mean, it was playing against the best, competing against the best. The competition was amazing. Kid from a rock, grew up on the islands, making it for as long as I did, and was pretty special for me.
Super epic. Yeah. No, it's really cool to hear. And like taking that career of yours and then going into the coaching side, like how do you see yourself as a coach? Because some players are not built for that, right? Like you know a lot of players that you would be like, oh man, you can't coach, but you know how to play the game, right? See ball, hit ball, but you're a thinker, right? So you're more of a coach type.
I think while I was playing, when I was a player, again, bringing back the basketball, my passion for basketball, I coached high school basketball almost my whole life as a player. In the off season, I don't golf because I was coaching hoops.
Oh, so you had some coaching
I
time.
coached my whole life.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So
okay.
I coached here in Arizona at Hamilton as assistant coach, volunteer assistant for Hamilton for a few years. I coached AAU basketball here for a few years. And my son Micah played here, played at GCU. He was a while back. But I did the basketball thing here, so I had a pretty good idea. Plus, having kids that were the ages of the guys I was coaching now made me pretty relatable to them and not some old guy that doesn't get it, right? Yeah. I knew what they was going. I'm going through with my own kids. They're the same ages, right? So it made it pretty easy. Plus, I've always knew that how I wanted to be a coach is how I was going to be a coach. I was always going to be about the player. I don't care. I had my time.
Yeah.
I did mine. Now it's about you. What can I do to help you be the best version of yourself? Right? So that's how I took that approach. It was never about me. It's never going to be about me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to help you have a long career like I did. That's my goal. The minor leagues is going to help develop you and help you get here. My job is to help you stay here. It's hard to get there. It's even harder to stick. I mean, they say it all the time. And it is. It's so difficult. So
if you don't show up your first time in the big leagues, you literally might not ever come back
100%.
up and get a shot. Like,
so for me, my approach to these guys were, I'm going to be smart enough to know that I have ideas, but I'm going to try to find a way to twist it so you think it's your idea, not my idea.
Yeah.
It's coming from you, not from me. So that's kind of how I work with the big league mind, that they think they're so good, which they are. They are so talented.
They are.
But they're the most insecure people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can't fail. They're afraid to fail, man. I don't care what they say. Not afraid to fail. They're afraid of failure. Because they're going to fail. They're going to fail all the time, but they're not afraid of that. So when they do fail, they're, now what?
How do you react?
Is it the end of my career? Is this one bad game going to blow me up? That's the stuff you got to come in as a coach. Hey, it's one game, bro. Who cares?
If you're a coach and you see a guy give up a home run or have a clean inning and not have to, struggle at all, but it's more so you're watching for how that guy gave up the home run and what he does after that, right? Like how he reacts to it, how he brings himself back from it. If he gets down on himself, gives up another one, Right. That's the hardest part, the psyche of a pitcher more than because dude.
A hitter fails more than they succeed, right?
Yeah.
You get 10 at bats, a 300 hitters considered a stud. You failed 7 times. You only had success 3.
Right.
So the failure built into a hitter it's automatic. You
don't even think about it. We're used to failure.
As a pitcher,
you're supposed to be better than the failure.
And a reliever, you better have a short memory because if you keep taking that into the next night, you ain't going to be there anymore.
1 run to ERA is massive, right?
100%.
Especially as a reliever.
And if you have a reliever, you have one bad game, you put up a crooked number like a 3 spot, you give it 3 runs in 1 inning, or
21 ERA.
It's going to take you 9 games to get it to respectability.
Insane. Yeah.
So that's where the insecurity comes in, right? A lot of guys, and it's funny how you look at their demeanor. Some guys they play with their hair on fire. Yeah. Some guys are gunslingers. Some guys are too
cool.
pissed.
Yeah.
So they're all different. So as a coach, you have to understand which that guy is.
Same with me, dude. Like I'm like when I go up to him, I have to figure out which one. Am I cooling this guy down or am I speeding this guy up? Like which guy am I have on the mound?
Yeah. So it's you're more of a psychologist, a buddy. You're like a big brother to them. They got to trust you, or they're not going to listen to you.
Nope.
So you got to learn that person inside. You got to know the animal, or you're going to lose them. You got no shot at helping that person. So I try to get to know a lot about them, what they like to do on and off the field, what's their thought process in the game. If you ask someone I ask all of them, list your pitches best to worst, and they'll give you their idea. It may not match up with the data.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that pitch is better than that one, right? So we have a false sense too, the insecurity again of what is good and what's not. We're the pitchers, the poorest evaluators of themselves than anybody positioned on the planet.
Yeah, and I also think that like the the overblown personalities of baseball players, we're all like people call us cocky because you have to be so self-confident in a game of failures that you have to be confident through that, right? Like it's a lot of times they're even faking it to try to show up with confidence, right?
You're right, and what people don't understand is like the other sports, they don't play as many games. So you have to have the mental toughness and act like I said, you got to trick yourself sometimes for 162 games a year. 162. It ain't 17 like an NFL season or the 80 games.
You don't have a week to prepare. You have tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
It's every single day. You have to get yourself mentally into like you're going to war. 182 games. That's not easy to do. That's the hardest part of baseball. Mentally getting up for a game like I'm going to battle every single night. Whether you get in or not, you have to mentally be locked in.
Give it your all in or not in at all. Or you're going to get cut. Yeah,
exactly right.
And sure, baseball's it's a cutthroat sport, especially the higher up you get.
Yeah, and it's funny because guys that you think are your friends when you first get there, they don't. As a rookie, they don't want you there because you just took one of their buddies' jobs.
Yeah, you're just like
So you have to find your way to fit in as a player, and as a coach, you got to try to bridge that gap too. Hey man, take care of the rookie. You have to kind of butter the veteran up. Hey man, take care of the guy, man. You remember you were in that boat. You're in the same shoes before. You didn't like it. Let's change the mode here.
Yeah.
Make them comfortable. Don't make them feel uneasy. You want to win? I do. Then let's change it, right?
Exactly. So how do you take a guy with poor mindset and work with them on some shifting that? Like, are there any rituals, routines, practices you take them through, or just reframing?
I think most of it is just conversation. If you know that they're negative on themselves, every time you have a conversation with a guy, you got to make sure it's positive. If he says something negative, ooh, let's change the way we're
Let's
talking.
figure out
here.
the frame. Yeah,
so
because
you
your
gotta
framing
start
is
the way
bad.
they talk. You got to talk. Everything's got to be positive. Like even from a physical standpoint, you keep showing what you're doing wrong. I want you to show me what you're doing right. You keep re-emphasizing the wrong. That's not helping things. I was doing this wrong. Don't show me that. Show me how you're going to get it right. We're talking about, well, I did this and that in the game. Well, what about what you did good?
So you're looking at the doors you shouldn't be looking at. You should be like, this is what a good pitch looks like,
That's
right? Yeah, and so
Correct.
you're trying to like get back to that medium that's good
Right.
for you, right? And that's that.
And you always got to take whatever was good, even in a bad outing, what was good, and let's build off the good. Everyone knows that people in the stands know what the bad was. The media knows what the bad was. Your teammates, we know. You've heard it enough. Let's worry about what was good. Let's work on that.
Yeah, and learning to flush it, like understanding it's good. Like some critical analysis is good to know. Obviously, don't leave a pitch high and in to this guy. Like learn that lesson.
That's basics, right.
But then after that, flush it, right? Like
That's
it's because you need to almost, if you're taking that into the next step bat, like you could give up another one because you're emotional and you're not in control of your,
Right. And
composure.
it's funny you bring that up because to me, when I tell people when they come up from the minor leagues or in the big league level, I tell them all the time is, you know what the difference is between here and the minor leagues? Is the third deck. Your adrenaline. If you can't control your adrenaline, you will not make it at the major leagues. That is the difference maker.
Composure.
Like I just told you, there's guys that play with their hair on fire, guys that are cool cats, guys that are they want to be super smooth, and there's guys that are just animals out there. It doesn't matter what you are. You have to be able to control that when you get to a big league stadium and you look up and there's 3 decks, not 2 decks like in the minor leagues. Not the high school field where they're just bleachers.
Not just 1,000 people.
I got to be able to control
of
the
people.
ticker, right? I got to be able to control my heartbeat when I'm out there. I can be an animal and still control my heartbeat. Right?
Like, and for those of you at home who haven't felt that, like that's like being at a concert, crowd energy. Like that's
Correct.
It's like you can feel the whole crowd energy. Well, guess what? You're on the field and you have to perform in that crowd energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've played with a lot of guys that were way better than me, but couldn't control that adrenaline. They couldn't, and if you can't play there.
How euphoric is that feeling though when you are in it, like a little bit?
There's no other
Big
feeling.
game stuff.
my
Oh,
gosh.
dude, yeah, like you got to be ticking.
And when like, being a closer when I was, whenever you got this, like people want like act like you've done it. I'm notorious for that. Hey, act like you've done it. Don't throw a party. But when you get that save, and that was the big part of the game, dude, you can't help but just
fist pump, let's go.
100%.
Yeah.
So you feel that way. So and like again, learning these guys and about them, like someone like Kevin Ginkel, right now currently with the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah.
If you watch when he first was in the big leagues, he was kind of methodical and not phased. When I was with him, I said, "Hey man, don't be afraid to show some emotion when you get somebody. You're a big dude, man. Dude's on the other side. I'm like, whoa, this guy. What's wrong with this guy, right?"
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden he starts fist pump when he's doing good. And I was like, whoa, what's good? And all of a sudden he
Started to be
believes in himself.
intimidating, yeah.
Correct. He thinks he's an intimidator now.
Yeah.
Nicest guy in the world. He's not an intimidator.
Yeah, he's not doing
but
that.
he believes it now, right? So I believe I helped him with that part of it. Like, man, it's okay to pump fist, man. Go ahead. That was a huge outright. That is a huge inning for us,
And then compose yourself.
Yeah, and then
right, and then get back to the next guy because guess what? You just finished one. Now you got to do another
Well,
one.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of the problem with the relievers too is they pitch their one inning and they think they're done. You're not done until the coach tells you. Because you can't. It's like a light switch. You can't turn it off and on. The minute you shut it down, you're not. It's
You're
gonna be
off.
a disaster when you go off that
Yeah,
second
no, you
inning.
don't want to go in off.
So I told him, you don't put your guard down until the manager comes and tells you you're done. Till then, you better keep your guard on.
Yeah,
That's
until
it.
the end of the game, it's
But
over.
so many people drop their guard, and that's when they do terrible in that second inning.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. The life of a pitcher. All right, my friend. So talk to me a little bit about like developing pitchers. Like what's it like on the side of like, what makes a good pitcher? Like how do you know when you first, see a guy and you're like, I want to work with that kid because of why and, stuff like that.
I'll give you the guys will talk about your teammates that you played with.
Yeah,
right?
shout out to Billy, Conlin, and
Evan
Spitzer.
Spitzer,
Yeah, of course.
So I'll take them one at a time. Conlin didn't pitch a whole lot in high school. Evan Spitzer might have pitched 1 inning in high school. Billy Clemens didn't get to pitch till his senior year.
Kind of sounds a similar situation to our guy who pitched 11 games and then
That's
started.
me.
Yeah.
Correct. So when they came to me and they wanted help with their pitching, I guess my lens is different than everybody else's. I look at it from a major league lens. I say, can this guy be a big leaguer? I think he can, but will he? The odds are very slim. But if you don't want to be a big leaguer, I don't even want to work with you. So I had to make sure that they would be committed. They were going to be all in, and They were going to listen to what I had to say and trust that what I'm giving them was the right advice. So if they didn't have any of that, there's no sense of coming to me. You're wasting my time and your parents' money is what you're doing, basically, right? So I make sure that's the first and foremost. What do you want out of this? If they don't tell me they want to be a big leaguer, get out the door. I got no time for
I love it.
Right? So when I watched Conlin pitch, super smart, knew how to pitch, lacked velo, could spin it a little bit, but tried like heck. And over time, when he started to get stronger, the velo I thought would bump up. His breaking ball I thought would play. For the life of me, I thought he would be a big leaguer. Probably not. Only because the rules changed.
Yeah.
Because I could foresee him being a guy that can throw a slow breaking
Crafty
ball for a strike.
a
lefty on lefty matchup.
Work the game a little bit.
Colin Meyer could do that.
He could have a mound presence because he's so smart on the mound. Like, he could handle runners. Right. He could handle stuff. But, again, they changed the game to pitch clock and faster.
He has to face 3 batter minimum.
Yeah.
That would be difficult.
Yeah.
So that's someone like him that, like, I'd look at it from a big league state of mind. Like, he can get lefties out. If we can get more of a sweeper type breaking ball instead of a conventional 12-6, Colin might have a chance and drop his arm angle a little bit. Again, I'm looking at it as if they're pros. That's how I approach the kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what their high school coach thought or what their college coach thought, right?
Yeah, a lot of high school coaches are just the teachers, anyways.
Correct. They're all teachers, and they're based on, give them credit.
They're awesome, though.
For giving their time.
Of
for
course,
you guys to get on the field and teach
grateful
you what they
for all of the ones that came to us.
But when they pretend that they know all the answers to the game of baseball, that's when I got a problem, right? Just know what you know, and if people that have more knowledge, let them help. Please let them help, right? That's all. Be open-minded that way. Like, I do lessons, but I encourage you. If your coach wants to come in, I might get to learn something from him. I don't know it all. I don't pretend to. Yeah. I know a lot. I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm willing to have someone come and teach me something new. You know, here's my saying, and I learned this from Mike Butcher. I don't know where he got it.
Oh, shout out Mike.
Mike. So his saying is this, and I took it with me the minute I heard it. I'm not old school and I'm not new school. I'm still in school. So I take the old and new, but I'm still trying to put this master plan together. I'm going to take some out. I'm going to add some in. So you're not one or the other. You have to be open-minded enough to understand that there's a mix of everything, and I'm still learning this game every single day, right? So that's how I approach it. So I got these young kids that are trying to learn, and I got these big leaguers I'm working with on a nightly basis. So I'm lucky. I get to balance both, right?
Yeah.
Now let's go to another year. Evan Spitzer. I had Evan when he was a little kid. Troublemaker, always in mischief, great kid. I love those kids, though. Those are the kids that for some reason they're fearless.
They love to play.
Right. So then whatever happened in his life, his family life, he had to stop coming. And then he was going into his senior year and he hadn't pitched yet. He was, Mike, I want to pitch again. So I go talk to your dad. So his dad said, yeah, he can come back in. And he's so athletic. Right, I'm looking at this. He's an athlete.
He's been playing basketball. You know, he runs a lot of that.
So he's athletic. He's got a pretty good arm. And I taught him that they call it a kick change now, but
the split change thing he had was
this one. Yeah,
dude, that thing's nasty.
So there's rare. Only a few kids can throw it. So I taught him that, and he had a decent breaking ball. But that changeup was his.
We would throw it more than we would throw anything else. Right. Like, it would just be nasty.
So I'm looking at him going, he could be a middle reliever with that trick pitch. Again, he can face 3 batters.
Yeah.
If you have his velocity bumped up to 90.
It's like R.A. Dickey. Like, honestly, it was real cool.
Yeah,
throw.
If he got up to 90 miles an hour, he could pitch in the big leagues.
For sure.
I honestly believe that. And I believe that as I'm coaching him. Billy Clemens, I thought, probably had the best arm.
Yeah.
He's the stiffest of the bunch.
The biggest of the bunch,
right,
too.
Strongest
of the bunch, yeah.
I thought at some point he's going to start to power the ball.
Pump it,
right?
Yeah.
And because he was flexible enough of a whip that I thought he might be a 90s guy for sure, right? And he could spin it. And his mentality, he had the football mentality as a football player. I mean, I like this guy. He's got a chance just because of his mentality, right? They all got to play at HPU. They all got to pitch more at HPU than they did in high school, right? Which I'm proud of. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to let them play at a level where everyone thought they weren't good enough. Their own high school coach was like, he ain't pitching. We got guys better than him. Yeah. They go to college and they all did really well.
Yeah,
that's some.
They
should be proud of themselves
with those guys
for persevering, sticking with it, and getting that much better than they were when they first started. I mean, they became legitimate college pitchers, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out, good old Billy. Me and him were a little bit of a battery. We had some, that was my guy that I didn't even have to call pitches. I could just like, I knew it was coming, the next pitch. We
Right.
knew like in every scenario, we would just put flash signs down and we would just roll with it. But yeah, no, those guys were really fun to play with out on the island. And actually they all had mentioned you many times because of a lot of the pitching stuff I would hear in the bullpen about them, like high glove and like all of your, different cues and stuff that would come off.
Right. It's nice to hear that because that means that they did pay attention.
They did listen, right?
And they believed in it and they trusted it, right? And again, my job as a coach, no matter what level, is to make the player his own best coach. That's my job. Because they're on that game, on that bump, by themselves. There's nobody can help them but themselves. You can go out there and kind of guide him, but it's up to him to make his adjustments. You can't make the physical adjustments for him. You can maybe call a different game, but they have to be able to do their own. So I've told them all, my job is to make you your own best coach. And I believe that they all became pretty good coaches of themselves.
Yeah, and Billy's literally head coach of a program over in Santa Monica right now.
That's
so it's really cool to see, like the trickle down effect of like, everything that goes on. And so we're rolling up on those last 10 minutes. But I want to, let you have some open space to talk about anything like in the game that has been coming to your mind lately, or anything that you've seen with some of your players that maybe, interesting to the viewers.
Okay, I'm going to bring something up that probably you wouldn't even think I'd bring up is, baseball's headed to a work stoppage. Right?
Oh,
The collective bargaining agreement is up in December.
Hey, this is going lockout, huh?
And, they're going to get locked out. So you're going to hear, it's being right now.
Is it for sure? Like it's going to happen?
I don't want to say for sure, but it's going to happen.
But it's going to happen.
Okay, so
eventually. If you
read the media today, you look on social media, the commissioner, they've been meeting. The Players Association and ownership's been meeting. Commissioner's been meeting. We've had a couple of meetings, I believe 1 or 2. And there's been some things that were put on the table, but it's not, none of it's 100% right. Like they're going to take their spin, and the commissioner's office is saying things that are, we agreed with this, and this, but that's not what they agreed on. The Players Association gave them things that they think should be talked about. Not that it was, this is what we want to do, but there's things that we need to talk about.
Yeah, not finalized.
And they're spinning it as if this is, okay, we agree, but this is what we're going to do on their terms. They want a salary cap. And fans out there think, well, all the other sports have it. If you ask anybody, the player in the other sports, they wish they were baseball players.
Every single other sport player wants the baseball money.
Right. So I'm going to say this: there's nothing wrong with the structure of baseball.
Yeah.
The structure's been the structure.
Yeah.
They can tweak it a little bit, but to completely change the entire structure makes no sense.
Well,
to me.
They're too far dug into this structure. I feel like it's really hard to get the Dodgers out of this structure. And so like, how would we fairly do this in a way that's like cutting that $1 billion team,
I'm gonna say this,
trillion, whatever.
That's the owners for themselves to figure out. It ain't for the players to figure out for the owners.
Yeah.
If the owners can't figure out how to share their own pot of money, the billions that they make, that's on them. They can't ask the players to fix what they got going wrong. Did anyone hold a gun to their head to say that, you got to sign Ohtani to that much money?
Nope. Ohtani's like, well, I would sign for that if you guys offer me that. What?
And they
$700 million?
The small market team, can they spend more money? They can if they want to, but they choose not to.
Choose not to.
So again, it's the owners got to be able to control themselves, not have the players try to tell them how to control themselves, right? Now you walk that slippery slope though when it becomes, are they colluding? Because that's a bad thing too. The owners are colluding.
Yeah,
we're all going to do this in concert so that they don't get their way. That can't do that. That's why the bargaining has to be in good faith. And whatever people are reading or hearing about out there, it's never the 100% of the story. And I don't like the fact that they're out broadcasting it through the media. It should be something that's done behind closed doors. It just now becomes a black eye for all of baseball because it's the player against the owner. All those things is not good for baseball. But I'm being an ex-player. The players are solidified. Their union is the strongest union out there. We haven't agreed to a salary cap ever. Why would they do it now?
It's not going to happen.
They're making way more money than they've ever made.
But it'd be sad if they locked out baseball.
They've locked them out before.
I know.
I was part of that. It was not fun. You're home. You don't get to play the game you love, and you don't know when you're coming back.
You don't know if you should get a job.
100%.
Yeah, like for real.
But if you have to, you have to. If you have a family, you better go get a job.
Better go get a job.
Right. And you do it for the when I played, the things that we went through, and we went the union. The way it was done was, I'm leaving this game better than I walked into. I'm leaving it better than when I walked in. And I feel that we did that in our time. My hope is that this current player walks out of this game better than they had it, which is way better than we've had it, right?
Yeah.
Don't make it go backwards. That's my hope for the players. And I understand that the fans won't understand that, but they're not in those seats. And we're not football, and we're not basketball, and we're not hockey.
Yeah,
We're different. It's different for a reason. They all wish, those other sports wish they had the baseball structure.
I just don't see how they could do it in any way that would be, fair, uniform, controlled, able to do. Yeah, like it's too deep. It's too far gone.
And everyone talks about
the
the Dodgers, but did the Mets just fire their manager today?
I don't know.
Yes,
I
they
think,
did.
Yeah.
The Mets is the second highest payroll in baseball, and they're in last place.
They're in last.
So, can you buy a championship? No, because they still got to pick the right guys and give the right guys the money.
Yeah, no,
and then you got
for real.
teams that we get to the World Series. We don't have.
How many times they paid a $200 million guy and then ends up falling apart?
The Royals, when they were doing their winning, everything came through their system. They weren't spending big bucks.
Moneyball.
It
Literally,
the whole organization as a whole has to be good. Your draft guys, the draft is the lifeblood of the game. So you better have good scouts that are drafting really good players. You better have minor league systems that are doing that are helping these guys get better, the development of these guys. Your developmental program and your organization has got to be top notch to get these guys to the big leagues. Now your big league coaches better be guys that better teach them how to win at the big league level.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole organization has to be solid. It ain't who's getting paid more money than the next guy. The Tampa Bay Rays are a really good organization. They don't win World Series, but they're in it every single year because their organization, top to bottom, they know what they're doing.
They're trying to play baseball.
Like
over
100%.
there.
They
Yeah,
know what
they're not
looking
trying for the market. They're
They
playing
have their
baseball.
system 100%. 100%.
And so not a lot of, you see other teams that, are more so trying to attract fans or, get more seats in the stadium and not win the championship.
It's all
right?
about the money.
It is a business, right? Yeah.
100%. And it's baseball is a good sport, and I hope they don't ruin it.
And Ohtani's a good investment, guys. They got paid back for that in about 2 seconds from Japan. So to be fair, he's worth that much because he's that big of a cultural phenomenon. And
So,
it is.
I'll tell you this too. That from my perspective of it is, people are always going to bash the player because they're in the public eye. Millionaires, they're millionaires. They want more. The owners are billionaires. Nobody goes to a game to watch the owners sit in their box. They come to watch the show on the field, right?
Yeah.
So that's the entertainment. And if we break it down even more, if the owner was to sell a team today, I'm not sure the value of the team, a couple $1 billion,
yeah,
right? If they were to get a salary cap and you're a prospective buyer of an organization, I'm going to buy the Arizona Diamondbacks, for an example. They're worth $2 billion. If I know my bottom line is there's a cap of what I got to pay for the rest of the time I own this team, that's times 5, times 10.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to get. So who's the greedy one here, the player or the owner?
Exactly. The owner's going to get way more and the player's not
Billions
getting
upon
anything.
billions.
Yeah, so why are we screwing the players out of money when we're with the salary cap when it's the owners that you guys are mad at anyways? And that's the whole thing.
Right. The players play and the owners do what they do, whatever they do, right? And they're putting the product on the field, but they're not the ones performing the service. You know what I mean?
For real.
But it's a tough thing, and it's sad. If it does come to a stop, at least it's in the off season. Hope it doesn't carry over.
Yeah,
but
hopefully it doesn't carry over.
The rumors out there are not good. Not good.
All right, pray for baseball, guys. Pray for baseball. All right, Mike. Well, this has been awesome, dude. Thanks for coming on and telling your story. I mean, if you ever want to come talk more baseball with me, we can talk specific, pitching stuff and everything like that.
But I'm not sure what you want here. I just
this is great.
Yeah, you asked, I said sure, why not? And that's my life. Been a baseball guy my whole life. It's been my career. It's something that I love and I had passion for, and I'm always willing to share my stories. Always willing to share knowledge that I do have. I'm retired now, so I got all kind of time. I got nothing but time.
Yeah, and if you're a baseball player out there, can they follow you anywhere? Or is there any types of websites or anything?
No, I don't. Everything for me is just
word of mouth. You got to get to know someone.
So I don't try to promote the stuff I do. No marketing. and I have to like the kid and the parents, otherwise I won't do it. It's just something I have to have a feel, you know. And I don't work with a lot of kids, maybe 8 to 10 kids at a time. They usually stick. I don't usually have to go find them until they're done.
Yeah,
until they're off to college and they're done with playing baseball, you know. And that I enjoy that too. Most of the kids I've had have stuck it out all the way since I've had kids since they were. I had one kid, you know, Zach DeHollander, probably not. I had him since he was 6 till he was done with college.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, you're a life coach.
Yeah, and again, it's life lessons through baseball, pretty much. Yeah.
I love it. Well, thanks, man,
Oh, for
and
sure, man.
appreciate you coming
got it,
on.
man. Awesome.
And guys, we'll catch you guys next week on The Price for Paradise. My name's Woody. This is Mike, and aloha.
Right on.
Boom!
Good
55
stuff.
minutes, dude.
All right.
Thank you. This
Got
is
it, man.
sweet.
Hope that was what you're looking for.
That was exactly what I'm looking for.